Hello everybody, welcome to another one of my autograph story videos. This one's about this fantastic record by someone named Klark Kent, who is also known as Stewart Copeland of the Police, the drummer. Klark Kent was a solo project he was involved in. He wrote and played all the instruments and sang all the songs, obviously. Back in 1978, wrote his first song. 1980, this record came out. I've always been a big fan of it. I also own the cassette of it, sealed, very hard to find. Whoops. And also, I own this 1995 era CD where they reissued all of his recorded works. Great stuff. So, I had an opportunity in April of 2016. Actually, it was April 29th, 2016. I went to Los Angeles to work a concert that DEVO was playing. And it was a really unique event. It was a charity event. Red Hot Chili Peppers were performing, DEVO was performing, and there was also, for various reasons, a cast of all-star drummers that were performing a certain skit that night. So I go to this event working as crew for DEVO, and I bring a few things with me related to some of the superstar drummers that were there. Mick Fleetwood of Fleetwood Mac was there, Stewart Copeland of the Police, Josh Freese of DEVO, Motley Crue's Tommy Lee was there, the Foo Fighters drummer was there. So all these people were there. I brought a few things to get signed. And I was lucky enough to run into Stewart while me and Mark Mothersbaugh were eating lunch in the cafeteria where all the band and crew ate that day. So we're all sitting at the same table. And of course, I asked Stewart Copeland if he's a big DEVO fan. And he's like, oh yeah, for sure. Ever since the early days. And I said, well, I'm a big fan of your work and the Police work, and especially your solo work, and I wanted to know if you would please sign my Klark Kent record. He was, oh, of course, man, here, give it here. And he took this gold paint pen and did a really nice job of signing right over the promotion-only sticker here on this great green vinyl 10-inch record. So as he was signing that, he was like, back in 1978, when I wrote the first song off this record called Don't Care, the Police were just starting out. I tried to kind of sell the song to the Police as a song that we could do, and Sting didn't really feel right doing this song and the Don't Care lyrics. He just didn't feel like he could really own it. So Stewart Copeland went and formed a solo project, Klark Kent. He recorded it all himself, played all the instruments, and Don't Care was released in 78. Top of the Pops played it because it was, I think, number 48 in the British charts. So to perform on Top of the Pops, to lip sync it, he had to get somebody to act like his band, since he actually performed all the parts in it. He got the Police to act like his band in this video, and he was telling me that they all wore rubber masks to conceal their identity, and Stewart, as the front man of the band, playing bass and singing, he was going to wear one of the clear plastic masks that DEVO wore in the early days. And he said it was totally inspired by DEVO to do that. Now, when they got to Top of the Pops and did some sound checking, they realized that Stewart's voice couldn't really be heard through the masks. And I don't know why that would be a problem, because they were lip syncing, I think. But in any case, he couldn't wear the mask. Maybe there was too much reflection from the lighting. I don't know what it was. There was a problem. He couldn't wear the mask on Top of the Pops. But if you look for it on YouTube, you'll find it. Klark Kent, Don't Care, Top of the Pops. Performance of all these dudes in rubber masks. So anyway, he told me that funny story. And by the way, if you want to see footage that I shot at this All-Star Drummers event, it's got footage of Stewart Copeland, Josh Freese, all these guys playing drums. It's on my YouTube page. Just do a search for All-Star Drummers Pre-Show Jam, and you'll be able to see the video from that night. So in any case, the conversation continues after he signs the record very kindly for me. I start asking him about this show that I used to watch. Back when I watched TV 6 or 7 years ago, I used to watch this show called Storage Wars. And there's this one character in the show that was kind of the kind of the rocker, the artist, the cool guy. And he was always finding musical instruments and things of that nature. And in this show, he happened to find some drums in a storage space, and he wanted to run it by his friend Stewart Copeland to see what the drums were worth. So they go over to Stewart Copeland's house, and they're hanging out. And I was just asking him some dumb questions about the show and what it was like. And we talked about that for a while. And he said, the funny thing about that show is, Storage Wars, he was like, You know, I've toured the world with the Police. I've been all over the place, and you know, and Sting was always the recognizable guy. He had trouble going out in public, but I really, being behind the drums and not being that recognizable, I could go anywhere and do anything I wanted for the most part, and I didn't really have a hard time the whole time the Police were touring. And he said, but after this Storage Wars show, after I was on that show, I can't go anywhere without getting recognized by people. It's really weird that after all this time, that's the show that made it hard for him to go to the grocery store, basically. Anyway, that's my story. Again, if you want to see footage of that All-Star Drummers show at which Stewart Copeland was and where he signed this record for me, just go to my YouTube page, look for title All-Star Drummers Pre-Show Jam. There's like 2 or 3 videos from that show that you'll see on my page. Anyway, thanks for watching. There'll be more autograph stories coming. And thanks for subscribing, and thanks for thumbs up in and all that stuff. I'll see you next time.